Good morning, this is Kara of Uncovered No More. It's 8:33 in the morning. I am taking a break from the normal gymnastics, so to speak, of my mind and heart and soul and ministry. And I just thought, okay, let's go back to Robert Frost this morning, because on one of my Twitter blogs, I am now going back and defending the evangelicals to produce some balance, because the vitriol is getting to me, which is the civil war between political parties. Christianity in and of itself has thousands of political wars. Every single denomination is a political war in and of itself. So if they want to say anything about the tribal fighting in Africa, they need to shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and realize history repeats itself. In Christian cultishness, they may not always take machine guns. I mean, people are machine gunning our children and our teachers and everybody down in schools, malls, and everything. So that's gun reform now. But let's talk like as if we're in 1980. My brother dropped dead in the street the second time in 1980. So, I was 14. Okay. There is a lot of information about missionaries to the African countries where the tribes war with each other and do despicable things to each other. And then you fast forward to the history of the American Indians, and there's all these things about the tribes and what they were doing to each other. And somehow there's this European savior of all of this. But where history repeats itself is in our private lives, no matter what skin color. The Civil War that I don't believe in anymore, okay? I don't believe in civil war. It's just war, y'all. There's nothing civil about it. But maybe back in the day, they were gunning people down or knifing people down, or killing tribe, genocide and all of that. But what about the genocide of the soul and the spirit and the flesh of the illegal sex industry? Which one's bigger from 1980 on? And do you see why I say that there is no such thing as civil war? People are being hurt, killed, souls dying on a regular basis, no matter which way you brand it, no matter which group you think you're a part of. Okay? So you have to take breaks if you're a good person like I am. Sure, I've been maligned and stuff, but I was never put into the sex industry. But the very movements that protected their women and children, the men protect the women and children, those very movements, those very religious settings are attacking us as well. So again, there's nothing civil about war. Which of the famous poets and philosophers, history repeats itself, or how many of them actually? And I just am about to publish an article, and I can't remember which of my blogs it's on, because again, I am taking a break. My brain needs rest, because I am pioneering thought, just like so many of us, and a lot of us are Gen X, y'all. We're another forgotten generation. I was just having a conversation with a man whose name is my first grandchild's name, and we're friends now on Twitter, and we had a huge conversation yesterday, and it was basically about this. And we're having to forgive, but we're also having to appreciate the good part of our past and adopt a new religion, as it were. literally, mine is turning out paganish, atheist-ish, agnostic-ish, Buddhism-ish is what mine is turning out. But if you think I am going to say, go fuck yourself, Kara, the 50-year Christian life that I have, if you think I'm going to do that, you need to understand that is not loving myself. That is not loving 50 years of my service and life. That is going directly against the very Bible that is being misused in the New Testament, that is going against its basic precepts of Jesus Christ saying, I have fulfilled the law and the prophets. See, when he said it is finished, everything that makes money off of spirituality said, no, we're never going to let you be finished, Jesus Christ. Don't argue with me, Europe, America. Don't argue with me, because I have lived and breathed the fact that you're telling him that 57 years, and my testimony there isn't going to change. However, I am supposed to, all of my life, no matter how many lives I've lived, past, present, and future, love my neighbor as myself. Tons of the supposed war zones that we're in say that, don't mean it. There's a lot of different people in a lot of different ways standing in front of the cross of Jesus Christ in 2023 and telling him and everybody else suffering like that, sure, he's the only one that was born of a virgin. That's a big miracle, but it happened over 2,000 years ago, and it does not realistically do anything for us today. It just makes sense if you want to thrive, to love your neighbor as yourself. This makes sense. Okay. We're standing there, not me, Kimasabi. Y'all are standing there saying, we're never going to let you return because we make more money and we have more fun, so to speak, if you're not here. There's also a lot of fear surrounding the fact that he said he would come back in the New Testament of the Bible that we can't even use anymore, okay? So fears turn into phobias, turn into life choices, turn into cyclical hell cycles that actually refine us and bring us back to love. Don't hit me. I had the runes smack me good across July 4th. I'm just getting up from my own correcting using runes. So I decided personally I deserve a moment with Robert Frost and the poem that is pulling me back up and reminding me that there's a lot of good people out here. We just got to figure this shit out. Is waiting, afield at dusk. And if there's one thing that we need to learn how to do, be kind to ourselves and others around us, it's wait. The Bible, the New Testament, is wait on the Lord. Okay? So, I do remember the good parts of what I was taught. The fact that you sit people's asses in pews day in and day out once a week, and on Wednesdays, you're not owning that shit. You're persecuting real people and still taking tithes. You're selling the real people short. And here's the interesting thing. This poem that I'm about to read is telling you the same thing, not to mention the fact that Robert Frost spoke directly to Tara, the archangel, in this poem that I happened to find this morning as I'm letting my mind relax because, oh my God, go look at my blogs. But you can't see what I'm about to post because it's still in edit form. I am learning to write again more and use YouTube less, but this is a poem for us in the hibernation of heat here in Texas, and we need our brains to repossess goodness. Literally, we need to repossess goodness. That means we need to look at that means we need to look at a lot of trees. We need to pet our animals and cuddle with them. We need to stay cool and hydrate. We need to make sure our old people and young people stay cool and hydrate. We're going into a heat wave starting this afternoon, evening, and through tomorrow, 9 p.m. I pulled in my miniature roses and my hanging baskets. I'm talking to my son who's on our property. He's having to make sure he waters the peppermint I gave him more, things like that. It's called hibernation. There's 2 types of hibernation. Seasonally is what I'm realizing again, and one is in the extreme heat and the other is in the extreme cold. It is well known that a lot of workers take siestas in the middle of the day when it's too hot to be doing their work. Hibernation isn't just for winter, okay? Not for people. Not if we're loving ourselves, okay? So waiting, afield at dusk. What things for dream there are when spectre-like, moving among tall haycocks lightly piled, I enter alone upon the stubble field from which the laborers' voices late have died. Do you realize, America, small a, fascist Republican Party, how many laborers are laboring in this country and dying, or being raped and laboring in this country and still doing it, and their souls are dead? You don't care about them. I can tell you which politicians do. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and pretty much the entire Democratic Party. You can go fuck yourself, Republican Party. From which the laborers' voices late have died, and in the antiphony of afterglow and rising full moon, sit me down upon the full moon's side of the first haycock, and lose myself amid so many alike. I dream upon the opposing lights of the hour, preventing shadow until the moon prevail. I dream upon the night hawks peopling heaven, each circling each with a vague, unearthly cry, or plunging headlong with fierce twang afar, and on the bat's mute antics who would seem dimly to have made out my secret place, only to lose it when he purées and seek it endlessly with purblind haste, on the last swallow's sweep and on the rasp, in the abyss of odor and rustle at my back. That, silenced by my advent, finds once more, after an interval, his instrument, and tries once, twice, and thrice if I be there, and on the worn book of old golden song, I brought not here to read, it seems, but hold. I do that all the time. Today I decided to slow down enough to forget what's on my blogs that is troubling me, to forget what's going on in my life that's troubling me, and not actually just hold the book. I do that a lot. So there's a discipline going on in my life. Choose to read, let it go for spaces of times, and not just Sunday. God damn, I need more. Goddess damn, I need more determination to stop and have an oasis in the middle of the crisis. An oasis in the middle of the crisis. I brought not here to read, it seems, but hold, and freshen in this air of withering sweetness, but on the memory of one absent most, for whom these lines when they shall greet her eye. This is Tara.